There are some areas that are just incredible romance. Animated rays, lights are on. That's my favorite thing. When the call to prayer makes this week, church bells, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. This world, our light. J'habite Istanbul.
Üsküdar'a giderken altı yağmur, altında üstünde bir gemi İstanbul. Altı tozlu eski ve yeni kalmış, kaslı üstü altı altın dolu. Sol anahtarı Marmara otomartı, kocaman ağaçları yere düşüp de kalktı. Bu yaşının altında gönül sefası, kız kulesi karşı bir de selamsız. Yazı dışı bahara çekilecek, tavrını da çekiyor tüm kavramızı açıyor bahtı. Akıyor denizi dere gibi ters dönemi de çekiyor bizden her güne her dönem. Kalabalık açık hava ötesi mahşer, kimisine şans kimisine de mavzer. Kimisine pasta vermeyen bir dilber, yeni sarılır. Dışarıda her hamlıca yolda üstleyip diyenler. Her gün gözüne çekmişiz benden. Üsküdar'a giderken altı yağmur, gönül sefası. İstanbul.
I grew up sailing. I really didn't have a choice. Really, my father's passion was sailing, and since I was 10 days old, I was in a boat. It gives a great sense of freedom, and just being one with nature, it just makes you feel good. Because at the end of the day, we are all coming from the water. I am Ethem Dirvana, and I am the skipper of Team Turks. Extreme sailing offers great spectacle. It offers something that even non-sailors can appreciate. I always wanted to represent my country in a high-level event like this. And by doing so, I believed that we can transform our public and their views about sailing in a great way. Turkey is sailing, Turkey is red, Turkey is home. To me, Turkey is love.
Did you know the oldest and largest standing palace in the world is in Turkey? Today, we are visiting Topkapı Palace, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This is not your typical palace. It's a giant complex comprised of eclectic buildings and 4 nested courtyards, each separated by a majestic gate. This is the Imperial Gate, the entrance to the first courtyard. Walk through the middle gate and you will enter the second courtyard, where the kitchen and treasury are located. Be sure not to miss the impressive porcelain and arms collections, some of the largest in the world. The largest building in the palace is the Tower of Justice, which symbolizes the reassuring presence and fairness of the Sultan. Then, we come to the entrance of the third courtyard, where the Gate of Felicity leads to the Sultan's private domains. Here in the rooms of sacred safekeeping, you can find the cloak, tooth, and beard of the Prophet Muhammad. The staff of Moses and the turban of Joseph are also displayed here. In the treasury section, you can see the world-famous 86-carat spoonmaker's diamond and the Topkapı dagger. Then there is the Imperial Harem. This was a school of nobility, elegance, and refinement ruled by the Sultan's mother. In the fourth courtyard, you will find elegant kiosks with heavenly views. The expansive porch, decorated with priceless Iznik chini, and the marble pool terrace are truly breathtaking. This was the Sultan's private sanctuary. Discover all this and more in Turkey, home of Topkapı Palace.
In 1632, Hazarfen flew from the very top of the Galata Tower and soared across the Bosphorus. And so the Turks learned how to fly.
The saltiness of the sea, the sourness of the lemon.
Fresh fish, only the gulls eat fresher.
The rest night knows, and we, and the tower that sees, and the light that showed me a path through the sea. Justinian sent 2 monks from here out on the Silk Road to China to steal the secret of Chinese cloth. They returned with silkworm eggs, and from them hatched an empire.
It is a dance where the dancer grows through love towards the truth and finally
reaches perfection.
To the city, Istanbul. To the city.
In Istanbul, there are always two cities, 2 speeds, slow and fast. It stands always, the world's capital.
İstanbul.
Today I'm gonna take you to Istanbul, the city of two continents. With Europe at my back and Asia in front of me, this is the Bosphorus, the slender strait that gracefully separates the two continents. Living between Europe and Asia is a part of daily life here in Istanbul. You can literally do everything between the two continents. Every day you could pass from one continent to the other on a ferry like this one, while feeding the seagulls and having a hot cup of tea. Imagine if that was your daily commute and you wouldn't even need a passport to do it. If you want to escape the heat, you can even jump into the Bosphorus or a pool between two continents. And if you're a marathon runner, you can run from Europe to Asia in the Eurasia Marathon. You can even stand on the legendary island of the Maiden's Tower, right in between Europe and Asia. Discover all this and more in Turkey, home of two continents. Today I'm going to take you on one of the greatest shopping experiences in the world. Haydi bekle, bekle, bekle. Did you know the Grand Bazaar is one of the oldest shopping malls in the world and still attracts over 250,000 people every day? The Grand Bazaar is big, very big. Imagine 61 covered streets, over 3,000 shops. It's so easy to get lost here and makes it the largest mall in the world. What sets the Grand Bazaar really apart is that these stores are not chains. They are authentic craft stores, some of them dating back 500 years. The Grand Bazaar has a mystical, almost magical atmosphere. It's like going time traveling. The thing I like the most is that everywhere you go, you're offered a glass of delicious tea. Tea is such an important part of Turkish culture. It symbolizes their hospitality, and Turks are very friendly people. Çok teşekkürler. Celebrities always visit the Grand Bazaar when they're in Istanbul. Even James Bond visited Kapılı Çarşı. Discover all this and more in Turkey, home of the Grand Bazaar.
better tell you before you get close. I'm a special case, I'm not like the other ones. There is a reason why I'm still alone. If you want to stick around, you need to ask yourself, are you an foreign man? Can you take me as I am? You think you made me special, babe, but I'll never change for someone else. Is your heart strong enough?
This is the third day of Fashion Hunt. We walked around Karaköy and now we are here for the fashion shows. Fashion Hunt projesi kapsamında yurt dışından gelen 7, Türkiye'den 4 influencerla beraber bir hafta boyunca hem İstanbul'un farklı yerlerini dolaştık hem de Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week İstanbul kapsamında çeşitli defileleri izledik.
Being in a new culture for a week in Istanbul was very refreshing and inspiring. I found Istanbul to be very wonderful and bright and colorful, very nice. My favorite part was visiting the old streets of Karaköy.
Katılımcıların da, misafirlerimizin de, bizim de tabii ki en çok keyif aldığımız yerlerden biri yine Old City, Tarihi Yarımada oldu. Topkapı Sarayı, Ayasofya, Sultanahmet Camii, Yerebatan Sarnıcı. Biz de aynı şekilde onlar gibi bir yerli turist olarak biz de yeniden birçok şeyi keşfediyoruz.
I love visiting the Topkapi Palace. It was really peaceful and inspiring for me to sit in the gardens. All of them, I'm really inspired by marble, and being able to see a palace built out of marble was so beautiful and peaceful.
Enjoyed so much our first day and the roof climbing of Kapali Çarşı, of course Nişantaşı. I am a stylist, so I found a lot of interesting places and ateliers and showrooms at the area.
Nişantaşı because it's very famous and because of the shop, handmade painted leather jackets, and it was cute, it was very cozy. And the atmosphere was great. I would say it's most favorite one for me.
Herkes çok heyecanlandı. Türkiye'yi ilk defa görüyorlar birçoğu. Bazıları daha önce geldiler ama hiç kimse modacılarını görmemişti. Modasının nasıl olduğunu bilmiyordu. Moda çekimleri yaptık, backstage'e girdik. Birçok alanda da Türkiye'nin güzellikleri, kültürü ve denizi dışında başka şeyler olduğunu da göstermek istedik. Çok süper bir hafta geçirdik.
Istanbul has amazing designers, and I'm really happy I participated in this event. I think Fashion Hunt is a hunt to the lifestyle of Istanbul. That gives us the idea of how the locals live and what is all about Istanbul and the magic of the city.
Before you get close, I'm a special case, I'm not like the other ones. There is a reason why I'm still alone. If you want to stick around, you need to ask yourself, are you an foreign man? Can you take me as I am? You think you made me special, babe, but I'll never change for someone else. Is your heart strong enough to?
the fourth day of Fashion Hunt. Now we are visiting the Old City, and in the afternoon we are going to watch different fashion shows.
I better tell you before you get close, I'm a special case, I'm not like the other